Breaking news for you. Breaking news from Asmara, Eritrean capital, where some restrictions have been imposed. New instructions have been issued by the government. Asmara remains on war footings, by the way. Eritrea remains prepared. Its forces are on alert, but this new announcement, the new restrictions indicate that Eritrean government is preparing for the worst case scenario that could be a war against Ethiopia. What are the instructions passed and restrictions imposed? Welcome to the channel. Thank you for watching. Good to be with you. When I say that all parties to the conflict between Eritrea and Ethiopia are preparing for war, people say, Sajid, you exaggerate. You make money, you make up things, you just make videos, nothing is happening on the ground, you are igniting a conflict. I want to just give a brief reply. Who wrote a letter to the UN? Two letters written by Ethiopian side to the UN. In the first letter, Ethiopian government said that Eritrea is planning to wage war on Ethiopia in winter, in rainy season. In the second letter, Ethiopian government wrote that Eritrea-backed Fano fighters, supported by Tigray fighters, have launched an attack on Wuldia. Tigray responded. Then TPLF wrote a letter to UN saying that Ethiopia is trying to create a justification, trying to create a case to invade Tigray. Eritrean leaders are saying, Isaias Afwerki said in an interview a few months ago that Ethiopia is piling up weapons. Ethiopia wants to annex Eritrea. I am not fueling a conflict. I am keeping you updated. That's what my crime is. When countries write letters, when leaders issue statements, obviously there is something happening on the ground. Where there is fire, there is smoke. If there is smoke, it means there is fire on the ground. That is why it's not that we are making up stuff for the channel. Rather, we are warning you in advance. Now, the restrictions have been imposed in Asmara, reportedly Eritrean capital. By the way, a few days ago, I got information about Eritrean government's plans to shift their offices in case of war. I could not do a video on that because operation in Wollo began by Fano. I got busy with that operation. Hopefully, I'll do a video on what is happening in Asmara in terms of the decisions made to relocate offices. The restrictions which have been imposed are about use of fuel in Eritrea. Reportedly, the residents of the city Asmara are being told to store fuel. By fuel, I mean petrol, gasoline. The petrol stations have been directed to reduce the sale of fuel reportedly. Public transport vehicles are not getting the amount of fuel which they were getting, which they have been getting in the past. Private sale of fuel is being restricted It has not been banned, but restrictions have been imposed, and gas stations, petrol stations are being told to implement the restrictions. Only limited amount of fuel is being sold at gas stations in Asmara. We received this report from Asmara. It means that in other major cities of Eritrea too, this decision is being implemented. If you remember a few days ago, I did a video. I said that Eritrean vehicles are buying petrol in Tigray. I said that Zalambasa at the border is open. Usually at night, vehicles from Eritrea enter Tigray territories and they buy uh, petrol from petrol stations in Adagarat, they return. In that video, I reported that some petrol stations refuse to sell petrol to Eritrean vehicles, but Tigray military intervened and one of the petrol station owners was arrested. I reported that in a video almost a month ago. And again, I am informing you that Eritrea is storing fuel by buying through Tigray. And it's a business for Tigray, by the way. Why? Because price of fuel is higher in Eritrea than in Ethiopia. In Ethiopia, 1 liter of petrol costs around zero point 0.8 US dollars. If I'm not wrong, it's around zero point 0.8. It's less than a dollar in Ethiopia. I'm talking about Ethiopia. In Ethiopia, price of 1 liter of petrol is less than $1. 0.8, 0.85 is the price. But in Eritrea, price of 1 liter of petrol is over $1.5. It could be between 1.5 to 2 US dollars. It means that Tigrayan gas stations can sell petrol to Eritrean vehicles at a higher price than the notified price by the Ethiopian government. Even that higher price is affordable for Eritreans because at home their petrol price is almost double than that of the price in Ethiopia. People would say, why is Eritrea storing fuel? Well, even a layman can see that when groups know that there could be a conflict, they store supplies. They ask their people to make preparations. They ask people to store basic commodities. At the same time, they don't want to spread panic. So they don't declare start of war, but they ask their people to be ready. By the way, TPLF people have also been telling their cadres to be ready. Even they went to the extent of saying that dig bunkers in your homes, prepare yourself. That's what was said at some meetings of the TPLF in recent weeks. By the way, Eritrea can buy fuel from Sudan too. Sudan, though it's heavily affected due to the internal civil war, but Sudan is still exporting fuel, I think. Sudan is key Eritrean ally. Perhaps it's not in a position to significantly support Eritrea, but Eritrea shares border with Sudan. Eritrea can buy fuel from Sudan in case of crisis, especially if RSF and SAF, Rapid Support Force and Sudanese military, reach an agreement and ceasefire agreement is signed. After that, Eritrea will be able to get support from Sudan. Ethiopia has also been buying fuel from Sudan. But in case of start of war, Sudan could stop delivery of fuel to Ethiopia, it could rather sell fuel to Eritrea. So preparations are there. We don't know what will happen. We don't know. We're praying that the war does not start. But I am just informing you about what these parties are doing on the ground. Fano, Eritrea, TPLF, Ola, federal government, Eritrea. I am making videos on the activities of all these groups to keep you updated. Thanks for watching.